Hello everyone, hope you all doing fine. In today's tutorial we are going to create this animation. So this is what we'll be creating throughout the tutorial. And as we all know, it's based on our Assignment-2 project. So without wasting much time, let's jump right into the software. So first, we open the software, and this is the into window. Then let's create a new project by selecting new project, and let's rename the project name to BSM project assignment 2 projects. Assignment-2 projects. So click create. So after creating the project file, so this is our first interface. So we can move to edit and start our design. So let's start by importing our media. So we start here. You can click import media, and for me, I have already put all my assets into one folder, which is this one, BSM Assignment-2 animation. So for now, I want this paper texture, and you can import it. Then you can add it to the timeline. So this is our paper texture. So next, we want to add a text, right? We want to add a text. Mind you, from our previous preview, we have a heading and also a subheading. So we want that heading. So all of those information, I've already gathered them to my notes here. So as you can see, this is the notes I made for this particular project. So this is the text I want. So I'm going to copy this one, copy, and come back to the Premiere Pro, go to the text tool, click text, and drag like this. Click and drag, and Ctrl V. So this is the text, right? So after the text, let's try to edit this text. Go to the selection tool again, then go to properties panel, this side by the right. Then here you can do your adjustments. You can change the font size. For now, I want 3 months. Then you can change the color to black. Yes, change the color to black. Here. Yes, change the color to black, and also you can also reduce the font. But for now, I'm okay with this font, and also the line height or the leading, sorry. So you can reduce it here by bringing it closer a bit to minus 30 to minus 40. Yeah, minus 40 is not bad. Okay, or minus 35. Yeah. So from there, we want to add our next text, right? Let's add our next text, which is the subheading. So now we do the same by coming back to our notes. We want this text, highlight and copy. Then come to text tool and click and drag this, Ctrl V. So this is what we want, but we want to reduce the size and also the font. So let's reduce first the size, and let's change the font to let me see. So let's change the font to something. Forgotten the font. Let me see. Centric Gothic. Yeah, this one's not bad. So move it a little bit at the top. Yeah. So you can adjust this one. 0. So yeah. So let's see this text a little, because mind you, we'll be adding a picture, right? We're adding a picture. So we want everything to settle very nicely on our space. Yeah. So after that, we want to add um, our image, right? We want to add and save. So now we can come back to our imports panel. You can either right click and go to import and import the file, the image. So this is the image. You can bring it to timeline. This. So this is our image. So in order for us to um, adjust this image, you can come to properties and adjust the scale to this, and also position it down the y-axis, bring it down. Yes, you can add the scale a little. Yeah. So you can add it, you can adjust the positioning also. Yeah. So we have added our image. Sorry. So I've added our image. Yeah. So yeah, so we have added our image. So next we want to add like a heading, right? We want to add a heading that's describe the whole concept of this design. So in order for us to add the heading, you can move to the tool panel and go for rectangle tool. Then click and drag like this. Yeah, you can, after clicking and dragging, move to the properties panel to change the color, burnt black, and let's add the text. So I'm going to add the text on this one. So the name, the heading that we'll be adding is the nation. Yeah. Yeah. So move back to the selection tool and change the color to white. Adjust the size. Adjust the size. And also we want to change the font to Franklin. Go for bolder. So I've added the text, a heading that explains the whole concept of this design. Yeah. So one last thing is the logo of the institution he founded, which is Limkokwing. So move back to import panel. And then here, look for the logo. Here's the logo. Import the logo. Yeah. So we do the same. You adjust the scale and move it and move the position. Move it downward. Yeah. So you can adjust, you can add the scale a little like this. Yeah. So yeah, so this is the design we are actually getting there. Yeah. So now we want to add some effects to this design. Yeah, we want to add some effect to this design. But before we do that, we want to add like a grid line as part of the background. So we want to add a grid line as part of the background. So we can adjust this to a little bit on top. So let's add our grid lines. Let's add our grid lines. Add them here. can adjust the scale. Okay, sorry, adjust the scale. Adjust the scale like this. Yeah. So you want the green line to be a little bit down. You want the green line to be a little bit down at the back. The back of the text, huh? Yeah. So this one is better. So you adjust it here on the timeline, eh? Mind you, we've talked about layers on Photoshop, so it's almost the same. Eh? Any type of adjustment you want to do, you can make sure you click the layers panel on the timeline, then you can do your adjustments. Eh? So let's bring this a little bit at the top. Yeah. So yeah. So we've done that. Next, we want to add, just like I said, effects to the background and also to the image. So the first thing, we're going to add a levels effect to the background. Yeah, to the background, which is the paper texture, down to effects panel and type level. We are going to add a level effect. Double tap. After double tapping, move to the control panel and move down to the black and white, the black output, sorry, the black output, and add this black output to 100. So 100, you can see, you're going to soon see the effects. So yeah, so you add it to 100. So next, after adding the level effect to the background, we want to also add a black and white effect to the image to see. But before we do that, we have to duplicate the image. We have to duplicate the image. But we are not only going to add black and white effects, we're also going to add a tint effect. Yeah. So in order for us to duplicate, you can either copy and paste, Control C, Control V, or Command C, Command V, or we hold the Alt option for Mac and do like this. So we have duplicated the image into two. So the copy and also the original. So we move to the copy, which is the first one, and go to levels, go to effect again, and look type for black and white. Type the black and white effect. So double tap. You can see it has already been applied. Then from there, you move to the bottom one, which is this one. Then add another effect, which is the tint zone. Double tap. Then move to the effect control panel. Then under this map black tool, you can change the color to red. Change it to red. Then you can adjust the anchor point, I think, for the offsets. You can adjust this one to the right, like this. The anchor point to the right. Yeah. So this is the design. We are actually getting there, right? So after this, we move on to I think animating, because this is the whole design. But before we move to the animation, let's change this color to red. Let's change this heading to red. Let's change this heading to red. Yeah, let's use this red. So here we go. So guys, this is our design. for the assignments, and now we are coming to animate. So guys, let's start our animation. But before we start the animation, I've already done something by by nesting this image. Mind you, we duplicated this image of Tansri, right? We have the black and white effect. We also have the tint effect at the back. So in order for us to achieve that one, we highlighted the two texts by doing like this. Right click and you click nest, right? By you clicking nest, you change the name to Tansri Limkokwing, Limkokwing. You can click OK, but for me, I've already done that, so I'm canceling. So that's how you nest, right? So we want to start by animating this first content, right? We want this content to come from the left and moving to the right by positioning, right? So we move to the effects controls. So first we click the panel or the content of the timeline. So we move 5 seconds like this. So we can add 4 to 5 seconds. So we can add a position keyframe. So you add a position keyframe like this. As you can see like we have added a keyframe, right? So we move back, then we go back. Mind you, we want the content to come from the left. So we'll go back. So yeah, so we have added this. So if we do a preview like this is how the animation will look like. But for now, we have done this, but we are not okay with this. We want to add some effects that can make the animation look smooth and a little bit faster, right? So let's add another effect by highlighting the keyframes. Right click and add and move to temporal interpolation. Then you can ease out the keyframe, right? After easing out the keyframe, let's add some linear velocity graph. So you can adjust the size like this, add the graph like this, add the graph like this. Yeah, so you can do a preview and see the effect. So it's a little bit smooth and nice, right? But if you see at the start, it's somehow slow, right? So we want to make it a little bit faster. So let's move this keyframe a little bit in front so that it will be closer to the other one. Okay. So do it again. Just this one. Okay. So do a preview and see the effect. Okay. So yeah. So that's it for that content. Let's do one more preview. Okay, so that's good. So now we want to add another effect that is called the opacity effect. And we want, as soon as the information or this content is coming in, we want it to be fading in. Like we don't want it to just display like this. We want it to have like a low opacity effect. And as soon as it's actually coming full, it has a full opacity, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. So we use the same keyframe. So at this point, we want to set the opacity to 100. Yeah. So now from here, at this other keyframe, we want to reduce it to 0. Reduce it to 0. Yeah. So we can do the same. Right click, add ease out effect, and add the velocity graph like this. So let's do a preview and see how it looks like. So yeah, so this is the effect. So we are done with the first animation. So yeah, so we'll move to the second one. We want to add effect to this. We want to add a text reveal to this heading text. We want to add a text reveal to this heading text. So we'll move on to the timeline. This is the heading text. Make sure you click it, or make sure it's highlighted. Then we want to add this object mask effect. So we click on the object mask, we go for what, a rectangle mask tool. Then let's have a drag. You right click and you drag, right? So yeah, so this is the object mask, right? So from here we'll move to the effects controls, right? To the effects controls. For those of you that are using the 2026 Premiere Pro, the latest version, this is how you are to apply this particular effect. But for some of you that are using another version, the steps are different, right? So for me, this is the I'm using 2026, so this is the step that I'm using, right? So we want to reveal this text. We want to reveal this text, right? So we have created a rectangle mask. So let's add some feathers. Let's add some feathers and start the animation, right? Let's add around 30 to 25, 25 to 30. So let's do the same. We'll move a little bit forward at this point. At this point, let's add an animation, a keyframe. So in order for us to add a keyframe or to reveal this text, we want to move this rectangle mask towards to the opacity, right? So you can click and drag at the bottom. So move it here, right? So for move it here, then we move to transform. To transform, we want to position, right? We want to add a keyframe. We want the text to revolve from the top to the bottom, all right? So we add a keyframe position, then at the start, we want it to go back. We want it to revolve like this. Yeah. So if we have a preview like this, this is how it will look like. See, but it's very slow, right? It's very slow. So how to make it smooth and fast? By we add what? We add ease out effects, right? We add ease out effects, and also we had some velocity curve to it to make it more smoother and a little bit faster, right? So if we preview this, let's see the effect. Yeah, so we also need to bring the keyframe a little bit closer, right? So that it will be a little bit faster. So yeah, so we are also done for the heading. We are also done for the heading. So yeah, so we move to the subheading, right? The subheading, we apply the same, but this time around, we want the effect to come from the right, sorry, from the left, just like this one. After this text reveal, coming from the top to the bottom, then we want to the center, sorry, we want the subheading to come from the left and revealing to the right. So let's apply that one also. So make sure whenever you want to apply any effects to any element, make sure you move first to the timeline and click the elements that you want to animate. Then you start the animation, right? So as you can see, I've clicked the sub heading that says it has received over 703 awards, right? So yeah, so we move. We apply the same by moving a little bit further at around 4 to 5 seconds, and we are going to add the same rectangle mask tool. Then from there, we can add our rectangle mask tool by drawing like this. Make sure you capture the whole text, right? The whole text like this. So yeah, so we have added this one. So I've added this one. Let's do the same. Let's add a feather. Let's add at least 20 to 25. Yeah. Then let's transform. So before we transform, mind you, we have to move this one, this rectangle mask to the opacity, right? So you click and drag down to the opacity. Yeah. So from there, we transform. right? We transform by moving a little bit forward at around 4 to 5 keyframes. Then we add a position, right? Add a position like this. Then at the starting, then we want the text to evolve from the left, moving from the left to the right, right? So yeah, this is how we want the text to evolve. Yeah. So if we do a preview, this is what we'll have, right? Yeah. So from there, let's add our smoothing effect, right? By highlighting the both keyframes, right click and add the ease out effect, right? Then after adding the ease out effect, we move to the velocity graph and add our velocity graph like this. So let's do one more preview and see. Yeah. So it's a little bit slow at the starts. It's a bit slow at the starts. So let's see. Let's slow at the starts. So we want this keyframe to be closer to this a little, and this one also to come a little. Yeah, let's adjust the graph. Yeah. So click. Okay. So you preview like this. Okay. So perfect. So we move on to the next one. We move on to this logo. The logo, it's not that difficult. We have already done that with this the nation builder. So we want this logo to this time around to come from the right, then coming to the left, right? So make sure we click the logo is highlighted. Then at this point at 4 to 5 seconds, so you add a keyframe, position keyframe like this. And at the starting, you want the logo to go back to come this side. Yeah. So we apply the same by adding the ease out effect. Then what next? Want to add a velocity graph like this. So preview. It's a little bit slow. So we also want to add the opacity effect, right? By making at this point, we want to add the opacity to 100. On this side, we want to reduce it to 0. Then we add the ease out effect, then velocity graph. Okay, so here we go again. So let's do one more preview and see how it looks like. Yeah, so let's do one more time. Okay, so one last thing to animate is the character, right? The image itself. So let's animate the image by clicking the image like this as usual. We click, then from there we move a little bit forward. It's around 4 to 5 keyframe. Then we want to make this image come from the bottom and moving up to the top or to the center. So at this point, we want to add a keyframe to the position. Then at the start, we want to adjust it down. We want to adjust it down like this. We are not bringing it all down, but we are going to leave a little bit of the face. So let's stop here, right? So from here, you can do a preview like this. So yeah, so let's add our normal effect by highlighting the two keyframes, add the ease out effect, and the velocity graph. Yeah. So let's do the same. Let's do the same by adding the opacity effect. So let's add the opacity effect. At this point, we want the opacity to be at 0. Add the keyframe at 0. Then at this point, we want it to be 100%. Yeah. So we add the keyframes, add ease out effect, then we add the velocity graph to it. Yeah. Yeah, something like this. So let's do a preview, see how it looks. Let's do one more time. For me, this one is somewhat close. So let's bring it a little bit closer. Somewhat far, sorry. Let's bring it a little bit closer. Yeah. So let's see one more time. Okay. So let's also bring this other keyframe a little bit closer. See the preview again. See one more time. Okay, so this one also we need to move them. So let's move them a little bit closer to each other so that it will be a little bit faster. So let's see. Okay, this is okay for me. So let's do one more time review. Okay. So I believe we are done with the animation. We have animated everything. As you can see, the contents have been animated. You can see different types of animation. All of the information are popping in smoothly. Yeah. So I think one last thing is for us to add the sound effect, right? We need to add the sound effect and try to do the adjustments of the layers, which content we want to pop in first, which one we want to display second, which one we want to display the third, right? So yeah, so let's go back to our timeline and let's add what's our sound. Let's add our sound. We import. First, we want to add this first one. Move it down. Okay, so now we have added the sounds, right? Let's adjust this one. Okay, so let's do a preview one more time. So yeah, so guys, this is the video, but we need to arrange these contents so that it will flow with the sound. So as you can see, this effect we want to show the first content, which is what this heading. Tansi, Limkokwing, then this will come next. Also this will come next. So let's do a preview and see. So at the start, we want this to show. Sorry. Yeah. So at the start, this is what we want to show: the Limkokwing building a culture of excellence, and also the subheading of that text, which is he received over 730 awards. Yeah. So something like this, guys. Please, this is just okay. So we have done that for the two, the Tansi and also the subheading. Now we want this this nation building to come in with this sound. With this sound. But let's move this at the back. Yeah. Let's see. We want this nation builder to come along with this bass sound, or this breeze, something like a breeze. So like this. Yeah. So let's go back. So see. So guys, as you can see, I'm adjusting the flow of the video, right? So please, it's gonna take time, but I will soon done. I want this sound to match up with this effect. This one. Yeah, this one. Yeah. We want all the content to have the same. So play again, do a preview. So guys, this is the animation. So we are almost done. One last thing is how we can export this our video, right? So we all know this is the video, so we want to export this, right? So first we move to the file menu. Under file you can see as export here. Export, you move to media, then as you can see you can rename the name of the file, right? So for me, I'm renaming this one to BSEM Assignment-2 projects, Assignment-2 individual projects. Individual projects. Yeah. So after this, if you want, you can change the location, the formats, the presets. You can leave it this one H.264, which I think it's also the extension for MP4. Then this one you can leave it this size, I think high bitrate. Yeah, high bitrate. You can leave it at that side. Then under the video you can tick, or you can check this one, render at maximum depth and use maximum render quality. So you can check these guys and export. So as you can see, it's encoding and also exporting. So after that, that's the end. You can submit. Thank you very much, guys. Please make sure to like and share, and also don't forget to subscribe. Peace. So guys, before we end this video, we forgot to add one last thing, right? We forgot to add the highlights, the highlight effect. So let's do it now, right? Before we end, let's add one last thing, which is the velocity graph. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Our highlight effects. So let's do one more preview. Practice it for yourself and submit your assignment. So without wasting much time, let's do one more preview and end the tutorial. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this video useful, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Peace.